Welcome to Tech Savvy 101, AI and Automation Made Simple. Hi, I'm Sarah Baker, your new Tech Savvy bestie. I'm a technology and automation coach, an online business owner, and a crazy busy mom of 3 kids under 10. Whether you're just starting to explore AI or you're ready to level up your tech game, I'm here to help make it all feel absolutely doable. No complicated jargon, no endless tutorials, just shortcuts and simple solutions that you can start using in your business right away. So, if you're ready to start saving hours every day with smart systems and AI tools, you're in the right place. Let's get started.
Hey there, welcome back to Tech Savvy 101, AI and Automation Made Simple, your go-to podcast for making AI and automation work for your business. Today, we're tackling a problem I know so many of you are dealing with right now, content creation burnout. You're constantly posting, constantly creating, constantly on, but you still feel invisible, like you just can't get in front of your ideal customers online. Like no matter how much you put out there, it's never enough. Well, here's the truth. The problem isn't that you're not working hard enough. It's that you're stuck in a system that demands more without giving you a break. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about why content burnout happens and why it's not your fault, the 3 biggest mistakes leading to burnout, and the content tsunami that is overwhelming your ideal customer, and how evergreen content is the solution you need. If you're ready to escape the content creation hamster wheel, I've got something special for you. Let's start off by talking about something I know is weighing heavy on so many of you right now, which is content burnout. You know that feeling when you're staring at your phone, trying to come up with yet another idea for a reel, another post, another story, and your brain just kind of goes blank. We've all been there. Let's be real. Most of us have been taught the wrong way to create content. It's like we're all stuck in this cycle of create, post, panic, repeat. When I first started out in the wild world of online entrepreneurship, the standard advice was to post 3 times a day, 7 days a week, 21 posts per week. I lasted a few months at that frantic schedule, but that's basically all I was doing, was creating social media posts. I wasn't writing emails. I wasn't creating products. I wasn't doing anything else. And let me tell you, I burnt out hard, like full speed slammed into the burnout wall. I honestly started hating showing up for this business that I had been so excited to start. I was freaking miserable. Even worse, on the rare days that I only posted 2 posts instead of 3, I felt like I'd failed. I was so hard on myself trying to keep up with this unrealistic pace. And honestly, that's not how running your business should feel. Somewhere along the way, we were told, you have to post every day to stay relevant. You have to be on all the platforms. If you're not showing up, people will forget about you. More content equals more visibility. But here's the reality. You're not just a content creator. In fact, you're likely not a content creator at all. You're a business owner. You don't have endless hours to spend creating new content every day. Now let's talk some numbers. According to a survey by HubSpot, 47% of marketers say they struggle with consistently creating content. Another study found that 60% of content creators experience creative burnout at some point. And yet, only 8% of marketers say they actually measure their content's long-term performance. That means most people are stuck in the cycle of creating and posting and moving on without even knowing if their content is working. No wonder we're freaking exhausted. Often when I'm talking to other online business owners, I hear one of 2 things. Either they say they're bogged down in the weeds creating content, or they're not creating any content because they felt so burnt out that they stopped showing up completely. They're doing other tasks within their businesses, but the idea of showing up online makes them want to run screaming in the other direction. In fact, just the other day, I was chatting with one of my clients who literally said, Sarah, I feel like I'm spending my entire day just creating content for social media. The moment I post something, I'm already stressed about what to post next. She was spending every Sunday night trying to batch create content for her business, missing out on family time, working late into the night, and she still felt like she was falling behind. And honestly, that's not how running your business should feel. So I sent out an email about this topic to my email list with the subject line, "I'm officially burned out on social media." And the responses I got back were wild. I had clearly hit a hot button topic. One response said, "This is me. I keep telling my husband I'm not a functional health practitioner. I'm a social media creator." And let me tell you, I hear this feedback over and over. Regardless of your business, regardless of your niche, somehow we've all turned into content creators. It can feel exhausting to spend hours every day trying to churn out Instagram and Facebook and TikTok content when really what you want to be doing is the meaty part of your business, right? Whether you're a functional health practitioner like Katie, who had replied to my email, or a doula, or an interior designer, or a photographer, you started your business because of your passion for your specialty. And you likely didn't realize that somehow you were also signing up for a crash course in content creation, did you? But here's the thing. This isn't just about feeling tired or uninspired. Content burnout has very real consequences for your business. When you're burnt out, your creativity tanks. And this can impact you across the board in all areas of your business and even bleed into your personal life. Your messaging starts to get muddy, and most importantly, you stop showing up as the confident, amazing business owner that you are. Instead, you're showing up as this stressed out zombie version of yourself who's constantly chasing the next post. So, are you tired of pouring hours into creating social media posts that seem to just fade away after a day or two? Well, good news. I've got something super exciting to share with you. I have just launched an exclusive limited series private podcast called AI Content Lab: Evergreen Strategies That Scale. In this 8-episode limited series, I'm sharing exactly how to create evergreen content, which is content that works for your business 24/7 so you don't have to. You'll learn how to break free from the social media grind, how to save hours every week, and how to create high-quality content that continues to generate results long-term. Evergreen content is timeless, high-value content that remains relevant, drives traffic, attracts leads, and generates sales long after it's been published. This private podcast is totally free and designed to help you finally take the stress out of content creation. If you're ready to get started, just head to the link in the show notes to sign up now. What's causing content burnout? Here are the 3 biggest mistakes I see entrepreneurs making. Mistake number 1 is relying too much on social media. Social media is a tool, not a business model. Most content disappears within 24 to 48 hours, meaning you're on a never-ending treadmill of creating more. If you're spending 80% of your time on content that expires quickly, you're working too hard for too little return. Mistake number 2 is creating content reactively instead of strategically. If you ever feel like you're scrambling to come up with that next post, reactive content creation equals constant stress, last-minute brainstorming, and no real strategy about where you're trying to send your followers. Without a clear plan, every post feels like you're starting from scratch. And mistake number 3 is thinking that more content equals more sales. The goal of content isn't just to show up, it's to drive results, right? Quality beats quantity every single time. You don't need more posts. You need better distribution of the content you already have. Something else to consider is that you're not the only one who's overwhelmed. Let's talk about what your ideal customer, the person who you're busting your butt trying to reach with your carefully curated content, is also experiencing every single day online. And the numbers are truly mind-blowing. The average person sees between 4,000 to 10,000 ads every single day. That's not even counting organic social media posts, emails, or messages from friends. This is just ads. And let me break down what a typical day in your ideal customer's digital life looks like. On average, they're spending about 2.5 hours per day just scrolling social media. They're consuming roughly 100,000 words of information daily. That's like reading an entire novel every single day. On Instagram alone, they're seeing about 300 posts in a 15-minute scrolling session. They're receiving an average of 121 emails per day. And they're getting exposed to around 34 gigabytes of information every 24 hours. On TikTok, users are watching an average of 95 minutes of content per day. They're scrolling through approximately 400 videos in a single session, and the algorithm is serving them content from millions of creators. Just stop for a second and let that sink in for a minute. That beautiful carousel post that you took 2 hours to create, it's competing with literally thousands of other people's content in your ideal customer's feed. That reel you spend all morning perfecting, debating over the perfect hook, choosing the best trending audio, shooting and reshooting the footage, making sure the font choice was just right, and agonizing over the caption, it's one of hundreds that they will scroll past in the next few minutes. And it's not just about quantity. Studies show that the average person's attention span on social media is now just, brace for it, 1.2 seconds when scrolling through their feed. 1.2 seconds. That's barely enough time to register that they've seen something, let alone engage with it meaningfully. How can you let someone know the value you can provide to them in 1.2 seconds? So here's what this means for your business. Even if you're posting 3 times a day, which, let's be real, is freaking exhausting, your content is still just a tiny drop in this massive digital ocean. And your ideal customers, they're not just following you. They're following hundreds, maybe even thousands of other accounts too. The average Instagram user follows 506 accounts. I had another client tell me recently, Sarah, I feel like I'm shouting into the void. No matter how much I post, it feels impossible to get noticed. And you know what? She was right. When your ideal customer is being hit with this tsunami of information every single day, posting more content isn't the answer to standing out. This is exactly why the post more, be seen more strategy is broken. It's not just exhausting you, it's also not serving your audience. They don't need more noise in their already noisy digital world. They need value that actually cuts through the chaos. And here's the thing about that chaos, it's only getting noisier. Social media content creation increased by 94% during the pandemic, and it has not slowed down. Every day, there are 720,000 hours of new video content uploaded to YouTube, 95 million new photos and videos shared on Instagram, 500 million new tweets posted, and 2 billion TikTok videos viewed. That's a lot of content. So let's pause for a minute and do some quick math together. Pull out your phone or grab a notebook. I want you to actually calculate this with me. First, let's look at the time investment. How many hours do you spend planning content each week? How long does it take you to create and edit those posts? What about engagement time? How much time do you spend responding to comments, engaging with others, writing fire emojis under their posts? Add those numbers up. Now multiply that by 52 weeks. It's pretty shocking, right? That's how many hours you're spending on social media content creation every year. Now let's talk about ROI, which is return on investment, because this is where it gets real. And I'm all about making data-based decisions, so we need to get the data. How many direct sales came from your social media posts last month? How many new email subscribers did those posts bring in? And what is the actual monetary value of the time you're spending creating your social media content? Take the number of hours, multiply it by your hourly rate. I had a client who did this exercise recently, and she discovered she was spending 15 hours a week on social media content. That is 780 hours a year. But when we looked at her analytics, only 2% of her sales were coming directly from social media posts, Meanwhile, her email list, which she was barely nurturing because she was so busy over working on her social media content, was converting at 20%. So here's the kicker. She was spending 80% of her marketing time on something bringing in 2% of her revenue. This isn't about abandoning social media completely. It's about being strategic with your time and energy. And when you look at these numbers objectively, it becomes pretty clear why you're feeling burned out. You're pouring massive amounts of time and energy into a bucket with a hole in it. So let's get really practical about this. Take your revenue from last month and divide it by the hours you spent creating content. That's your current hourly rate for content creation. Is it anywhere close to what you'd pay someone else to do this work? Or is it anywhere close to what you charge for your actual services? Now let's talk about something that's going to be a total game changer for you, and that's evergreen content. Think of it like planting a garden instead of buying fresh cut flowers every day. Sure, those flowers are beautiful, but they die quickly and you're constantly back at the flower shop buying more. But a garden, plant it once, tend to it occasionally, and it keeps producing beautiful blooms season after season. And that's what makes evergreen content so powerful. It works for you 24/7, even when you're taking a well-deserved break. It builds compound returns over time. And the more you create, the more your content grows exponentially, the bigger your garden gets. It also gives you the freedom to focus on what you actually love doing in your business and allows you to get back to the business of running your business. This is exactly why I'm so passionate about evergreen content. It's not just about creating less, it's about creating more intentional content. It's about building a content strategy that gives you breathing room while still growing your business. Instead of scrambling for daily content ideas, you're building a foundation that supports both your business and your well-being. So we know our ideal customers are drowning in content being thrown at them every single day. But here's what's interesting. When people actually want to solve a problem or learn something specific, they don't go scrolling through social media hoping the perfect post will magically appear in their Instagram feed. They Google it. They look for in-depth, helpful content that actually solves their problem. Think about your own behavior for a second. When you want to learn how to do something, are you scrolling Instagram hoping to catch that one carousel post from 3 days ago? No. You're actually looking for solutions, blog posts, podcast episodes, or videos that dive deep into exactly what you need. This is where evergreen content becomes a game changer, both for you and your audience. Instead of contributing to the daily noise, you're creating something that serves your audience when they need it and when they are looking for it, not just when you post it. Provides complete solutions instead of fragmented tips, no more having to grab their attention in 1.2 seconds. And it can be found through search when someone is actively looking for help. Let me give you an example. Instead of creating daily social media tips that disappear into the void, you could create a comprehensive blog post about a topic that your ideal customer is often searching for. That blog post could help you get found by people who are actively searching for solutions, aka ready to buy. It could help you drive consistent traffic months after publication and actually give your audience the complete picture they need. This could help you bring in new leads every single day without your having to constantly create new content. And the best part is your audience loves it because they can save it and reference it when they're ready. They can work through it at their own pace. They can get the full context instead of piecemealing information together. And they can find it exactly when they need it most. This is what I mean by creating value that cuts through the chaos. Instead of adding to the overwhelming flood of content your audience already sees every day, you're creating a reliable resource they can turn to whenever they need. So there you have it, a step-by-step plan to help you escape the content creation burnout and allow you to get back to the business of actually running your business. If you want to dive deeper into creating evergreen content that actually drives results, check out my free limited series private podcast, AI Content Lab, Evergreen Strategies That Scale. Inside, I'm sharing exactly how to combine AI tools with strategic content creation to save time while growing your business. The link to sign up is in the show notes. Remember, you didn't start your business to become a content creation robot. You started it because you have valuable expertise to share and people to help. Let's get you back to doing exactly that. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's episodes. I'll see you really soon.
Thanks for tuning in to Tech Savvy 101 AI and Automation Made Easy. If today's episode made tech a little less intimidating for you, I would be so grateful if you'd leave a review and let me know what you loved. Don't forget to check out the show notes for links to any resources I mentioned today. Be sure to follow Tech Savvy 101 wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. Tune in for AI in Action on Tuesdays for quick, practical AI tips, and join me on Thursdays for full-length episodes. Until next time, keep shattering that tech ceiling.